One. Okay, hey everyone. Hope you guys are doing well. To whoever is watching this, you're with Noor here. I run the operations side of EasyGrow, and today I'm joined by one of our long-standing clients, actually, who's been with us for a very long time, Max, who's absolutely smashed it, with the program. And I wanted to do a client interview with him, just to ultimately share his story with you guys. So, Max, obviously, me and you know each other, and we spoke briefly just before this. For the people watching this, can you let them know, who you are, who you serve, and what you do?
Yeah, so my name is Max. I serve marketing agencies with two different offers, and that's it. So one is like a more coaching and consulting, like done with you style offer. Another one is a done for you style offer, and that's about it really. I'm 20 years old. Been in the program for a while. It was I think almost 2 years ago now I joined the first version of Imperium. And Noor was, I remember you serving ecom at the time.
That's it.
And yeah, that was crazy. It was very different. It was very different at that stage. Like there was no school,
Yeah.
there was no there was not like tons and tons of people in there. I think there was maybe like 100 to 200 people in there when I joined. Like it was all through Facebook. I think Charlie and Bo were still doing like one-to-one support on there as
Yeah,
well. I
yeah,
could message them.
in the messenger groups and stuff. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's like everyone knew each other. Like everyone was talking to each other. Yeah, that was fun. Like the looms were just like printing the loom alchemy. Like you could literally just like press play on that, and it would book me like 3, 4 meetings a day. I remember that. It was crazy. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
what got me my first few clients. And yeah, that was good. It was good. It
Yeah,
was a
yeah.
very, very good program.
You're making, obviously, yourself and myself making us feel old because we're speaking like, oh man,
Yeah.
no school. It was Facebook groups back then. It was this old thing, only a handful of people. But no, man, it
Yeah.
was definitely a good time, and things have obviously blown up since then, even for you. And just to dig deeper into that, Max, just so people understand, obviously you work with marketing agencies, with two separate offers. What specifically, do you help them with? Just so that people understand, what your business revolves around.
Yeah, so specifically with marketing agencies, work with like higher ticket marketing agencies. So usually doing like 7 figures and above. And we usually charge like between 3 to 5K a month for that, plus revenue share. And it's usually over like longer term contracts, so 6 to 12 month contracts. So it's not the traditional like SMMA offer. It's like we don't care about taking on loads of clients just because we have that element of rev share to it as well. So yeah, we prefer to work with a fewer number of clients and retain them long term, which I think is every agency owner's dream,
Yeah,
truly, because like there's such a huge focus in this area of acquisition. None really talks about building good client relationships, maintaining clients for the long term, and then just minimizing churn. Like I don't care about taking on loads of clients. I care about really building something valuable with a fewer number of clients and then scaling their accounts and like really focusing on the idea of just permanence. Like I never want a client to leave. So that's one of the offers. And what we do with them is work with them on their offer to help reposition their offer, align it with who they're targeting, focus on their sub niche, like a sub niche of who they're targeting that can pay the most amount. Like sometimes it's a case of like finding out what clients they have who are paying them the most money and they're doing the less work, the least work for. And usually that's like the 20% that can pull that lever
yeah,
for the other 80%. So it's doing that and then so repositioning their offer and then it's building out like an outbound system for them, managing that, and then helping them in the sales side as well.
yeah,
That's the three main components for like the done for you offer. For the done with you, which is usually for smaller agencies, it's really just like 2-to-1 consulting with myself and Isaiah. Instead of us like doing all the systems for them, we just basically like give them all the resources they need and all the systems help them implement it in their business. They have 24/7 access to us. We're always on call and we'll just jump on calls with them and basically sort everything out, give them advice, feedback ASAP. And yeah, that's what it looks like. They're the two offers. Like we're doing around last month we did I think 26K or something like that.
yeah.
This month we're gonna hit, I think we're on track. We've got a big one as well because we've got like a build and release type thing going on with a very big agency. So I think that should be nice. So I think this month should look around like 40, something like that. So it's
Wow,
nice.
26 to 40, killing it, man. And yeah,
Recently has been crazy. Recently
yeah,
has been crazy, yeah.
for sure. And for people watching this, Max, obviously I'm aware of like where you and Isaiah came from because we were, part of the program way back, and it's been amazing to see like how far you've
Yeah.
come. For people watching this, why don't you tell them where you were before you joined the program with your business and how life essentially looked?
Wow, man. Like that question's crazy because before the program, I didn't have a business. I was like a completely different person. I'm actually I'm dropping a YouTube video on Saturday about like where I was before, how much it changed me and everything like that. But it was yeah, man, I didn't have a business, so I wouldn't call it that at all. So I joined Iman Gadzhi's program maybe January 2 years ago. And like that was awful. I remember just looking through the content and it's just him just speaking to the camera. It's like the whole program is just him. There's not no like value. It's like I don't even maybe there's like a 10-minute niche module. There's no offer module. Like the outreach strategies are from like 2016. So like I do that for a month. And at the time I'm still working my like sort of warehouse job, working at a company called Magnet Trade, which basically they sell like kitchen supplies. So I'm selling like building supplies. At the time, like I'm 17, right? No, I think I've just turned 18 when I come across like Iman Gadzhi and stuff. Like literally just turned 18. I'm earning like £1,700 a month at the time. So for like someone who's just turned 18, I was earning that when I was
Yeah,
17 as well. Like it's not bad, right? But
all right.
like I was still playing around with crypto, I was doing this stuff, but I was sort of realizing I was like, okay, I'm not gonna make the money that I want to make, like flipping coins like Arweave and Thorchain and getting like 1,000x on them. Like it's just not realistic, right? I need something sustainable. I need predictable monthly revenue to leave my job. So I do what anyone does. I just Google how to make money online. I come across Eman's course. It's terrible. I probably implement that stuff for like a month. And then like naturally, because I found Eman, who's like the pinnacle of the SMMA model at the time, I'm like going down all these rabbit holes.
Yeah.
And I think like I was looking at Kai Bax's course, and I remember like I just didn't understand it because I remember like I tried to sign up for his course, and then he was sending me this like email newsletter about different like a different offer that was for like marketing agencies at 30K a month plus. So I was ready to be closed. I was looking for a course to invest in because I had the money. And then I came across Charlie, and it was like I think he had like maybe 200 subs at the time, 200 to 300, which is crazy, man. Because right now, like, what is he on, like
About
110K,
100, where
something like that?
110, I think. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, like, I remember finding his channel and I like saw myself in him so much because, like, he's like a, like, he started a similar age to me. He was like a shy, anxious kid. He had to evolve into this different person. Yeah, like I saw myself in him so much. And I remember getting on a call with Jack Roberts. I bought the course
Yeah, shout out to
and I was
Jack.
just blown away. Yeah, shout
Yeah.
out to Jack, man. If he didn't close me, I'd probably not be here today. But yeah, I just remember getting into the course and it was just crazy. It was crazy. Like compared to Eman's, I was like, okay, everyone in here is having success. They're all booking meetings. It's all working. There's not tons of thousands of people in here. It's just a few hundred. Like everyone's communicating with each other. I implemented the systems and I got results straight away. Like I signed 2 clients at I think 1.5K a month. And then I went part-time on my job. No, I actually left my job. I signed the first one, went part-time. I signed the second one, quit
That's it.
fully. And yeah, just from there, bro, I think I got to like 10K a month within like 6.5 6.5 months or something like that. And then it was just from there. And then it was just managing mindset, to be honest. Like
Yeah.
had like got a girlfriend for the first time. That was a big distraction. Yeah, went on a few
It all fell apart after
holidays.
that.
But yeah, bro, it was the peaks and troughs. You know,
That's it.
luckily I had the mindset modules to keep me on
There you
track.
go,
But
man.
yeah, that's it really.
Yeah.
That's what happened after I joined the course.
Good stuff, man. So started at zero, obviously no understanding, actually some little understanding of, the market due to other courses, but like you said, you didn't
The
really,
most like minimal. Yeah.
most minimal, you'd say. And I think it's been 2 years now, Max, I'd say, or coming to 2 years, would you say?
Yeah, coming to 2 years now. Yeah.
Coming to 2 years, zero, working in a factory or warehouse, sorry, and fast track, not fast track,
Yeah.
because it's coming to 2 years, 40K per month, which is amazing. And when you actually first joined Max, did you start off with the same like niche offering that you now have, where you're working with agencies coaches and helping them with their offers, appointment setting, and all that stuff, or did you come into the program serving another niche?
So I was actually doing appointment setting for coaches and consultants straight away.
Yeah,
That was my niche at the time. But then like naturally I just went into agencies because a lot of who I was targeting, they didn't really have much money. Coaches, like a lot of them were broke. So yeah, then I think it was maybe 5 months in after I'd hit 10K a month, I changed it to agencies.
yeah, sweet. And when you actually first joined, how did you sort of navigate it? Because obviously you were the one of the first few that actually joined. What parts of the program stuck out to most? What strategies did you leverage, and what really got the ball rolling for you?
The Loom Alchemy, like straight away I was on
Just the
that.
one.
That was yeah, that was crazy. And then the mindset stuff, to be honest, man, like because everything was there, like the systems all worked, right? Sales worked, appointment setting worked. So as long as I was taking action on there, the only thing that was going to hold me back was myself. So that's where like the mindset just played a crucial part, and that stuff is genuinely life changing. Like I know Charlie's got a lot of that stuff from Sam Evans, but he's put his own like personal spin on it,
Yeah,
and it's really really nice. Like it definitely helped move the needle a lot in terms of just getting out of my own way. Like if I didn't come across that information, I think yeah, I don't know why I'd be, because it really is life changing, the mindset stuff.
yeah. Let's dig a bit deeper into that because I know you mentioned you hit that 10K per month mark, which is the goal that every beginner tends to put on the pedestal. And I think you
Yeah,
mentioned to me you sort of get stagnant, you get comfortable naturally. Um,
100%.
and you went through, the mindset training to sort of just get you out of that comfort. Talk me through that. What triggered you to actually, well, not triggered, but what helped you get out of that zone of comfort and push beyond 10K per month? Because you were at that point for a fair amount of time.
Yeah, I was at that point for a while, and I think like I'm quite impressed the fact that I like kept it consistent for so long, because I
Yeah.
was hitting like 10K, like I wasn't comfortable. I was like, I'm okay. I'm working like 4 hours a day. I'm earning 10K a month. I have like clients I like. I'm fulfilled. And when I like first started, I wasn't always wanted to like hit big goals, but like I said, like you said, like a lot of people put 10K a month on a pedestal. I kind of did
Yeah.
that as well. So when I hit 10K a month, it was comfortable, and it was like this was always my goal. Like now I don't have to
Yeah.
work. Now I don't have to do anything. I can sort of do what I want. I went on some holidays. I traveled around. I was having fun. Like I had a girlfriend, and then it was like, yeah, it was. I think I just like the nature of entrepreneurship. It's the like it's just constant growth. It's like your personal life, right, as well. So for me, like naturally, I got bored of it, and the way I sort of broke past it was, I mean, it was the mindset stuff, but also like meeting Isaiah played a big part of it as
Yeah.
well, to be completely honest. And that because of just where his skill set was, like he was incredible in service delivery and everything like that. And having two people helped a ton. But yeah, the mindset stuff played a big part. And it was not only learning from people like Charlie, but it was just reading a lot, like staying consistent with meditation, doing the habits every day that needed to get me to that goal. So just working every day, working more than 4 hours as well. And that was it really. It was honestly just staying on top of the mindset, meeting Isaiah, and just working harder. That were probably the three things. And then just getting clear on my goal. Like really like finding out my why, like Charlie says. It was like, okay, like I could hit the like 30, 40K numbers that I want to hit. But if I have no intrinsic reason to do it, I'm not gonna push to it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was what it was.
Good stuff, man. And yeah, shout out to Isaiah as well. We're gonna do a separate interview with him because he's got his own individual story. As he obviously
Yeah,
joined similar to you, Max, where you weren't business partners, you were trying to do your own thing. So we're gonna get him on. And yeah, it's 100% true what you said, man. Once you hit that goal that you've always been aspiring to hit. I think, the video paused for a few seconds for those of you watching, but I managed to catch what Max said towards the end. Essentially, Max, you said you got comfortable, right? And you were working those 4 hour days, and there was no sort of why or motivation to just continue moving
yeah,
forward. So I love that you managed to, lean back into the mindset module to really keep going towards where you're at now at 40K per month and, even going beyond that. And staying on the topic of mindset, and just identity shifting in general. And again, you and all of the successful students that I speak to and see in the program, they're never the same as they come in. They always evolve into someone better. So I wanted to ask you, Max, how does Max, let's label him Max version 1 that joined the program, right, 2 years ago, look compared to Max version 2, the one I'm speaking to right now? And what I mean by that is just some of your, the limiting beliefs that you used to have, your habits, for example, your paradigm. It'd be great for the people watching just to understand how you had to not only implement the business stuff, but more so have a shift in identity to get to where you are right now.
Yeah, so like the main thing is just thoughts, like the thinking patterns that I have all the time, because everything's upstream from that. I definitely had I wouldn't say like limiting beliefs were a huge thing for me. It was mainly just like the way I was thinking about things on a day to day. Like it was definitely not, it's a lot more negative. I was experiencing like those ups and downs. The habits weren't great. I still had like addictions I was fighting through, all this stuff, like bad food, all these different things like social media. But I'd say it honestly just came through work. Like I never really looked at like the alchemy of self stuff and all of that type of thing until really recently. Honestly, it just came through like having confidence in the systems that I was doing because like I knew they worked. So for me, it was like as long as I do the work, I'm gonna be able to, you know, become the person that I want to be because like naturally if I do the work, I'm gonna get the outcome. If I get the outcome, it's literally gonna force me to become the person that can maintain that outcome, right? And as I'm doing it, I'm evolving. So I think yeah, just like thoughts and like over time just keeping learning. Like just like always like I've always been reading, I've always been looking at things like podcasts, stuff like that. I think that's really important. Like it really helps with energy because like that was a big thing. Like when I first started, my energy was low. I didn't want to get up, I didn't want to do the work. So now it's just yeah, like I know what I can do to get myself in a state where I want to work. So that's the big thing.
Yeah, love it, man. Because I think with a lot of the viewers, especially the really young ones, where perhaps they're young, you know how it is, young teenagers, 16 to like 18, they're looking at these YouTube videos, they look at these interviews, for example, right? And their first sort of trigger point would be, oh my God, like strategy, 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 business tactic, business tactic, business tactic, loom alchemy, DM sorcery, whatever. They assume that it's as simple as a business solution to get them to where they need, right? But actually, they forget one of the hardest parts, which is that identity shift. Even when you get success like yourself, Max, you still need another shift to just keep on going.
Yeah, it's the hardest part. It's the hardest part by far. And like it's crazy. Like the whole time I've been working like in the SMMA space, it's like I've known exactly what to do on every point of time. Like I've there's never been a time where I've thought, oh, what do I need to do? Like I don't know what I'm gonna do to move the needle forward. Like I've been in the dark. Like I've known literally exactly what I need to do to hit my goal at every point in time. But it's just about doing the work, right? And like if your identity is not there, if you're not thinking correctly, if you're not really putting that into practice, you're not doing the work. And like because if you join this program, like if you join Imperium, if you join EasyGrow now, like everything works in there. So the only thing that's going to stop you is just yourself, right? So that's why the mindset stuff is so important. I'm still working through it today. Like I'm not perfect. I think a big mistake I made at the start as well was trying to be perfect. Like I'd look at people like Alex Becker, like Sam Ovens that like drive themselves to like the end of discipline, like the ends of the earth when it comes to discipline, like planning out every increment of their day and like doing all these perfect habits and stuff. Like Alex Becker's like 3 a.m. biohacking routine. And like, I just put so much pressure on myself. And when I like took a step back and I was like, okay, it doesn't matter about any of that stuff. Like, yeah, meditation, reading helps. I can do that if I can. But as long as I'm getting up every day and I'm putting the hours in, I'm doing the work, like it's all that matters. Like you don't to get to 10K a month, to get to 50K a month, you don't have to be getting up at 3 a.m., like doing red light therapy, having cold showers, doing an ultra marathon before 5 a.m., and then like getting to work. Like it's not, you just need to put in the reps, and that's all it is. And I made that mistake of just thinking I needed to do all of these perfect habits and driving it to the extreme.
Yeah, love it, man. Yeah, a lot of people do that. They fall into the trap of trying to just copy and paste someone else's success story and their habits and routines when everyone's different, right? And it's funny because
100%.
Alex Becker said the exact same thing because he literally made a video saying, I forgot what his title, but the premise was, "You're not me, you're not Sam
Yeah.
Everett, you're not whatever. Stop trying to be like us. You be you, find what works for you, and double down. If that means you're a night owl, work in the night. If that means you're an early bird, work in the morning." Similar to what you said, Max, find out what works for you. As long as you're getting the work done, that's the most important thing. So yeah, I love hearing the impact on the mindset side of things for you, especially after you've already, you had that achievement of 10K and you still needed to do mindset work to go beyond that. And even at the point you're in now, right, you always need to level up. So yeah, that's really good stuff, man. And in terms of, in terms of life in general, Max, I know you briefly touched on it. I know we spoke about how things looked before and how things look now, but have you taken a
Yeah.
moment to actually pause to look at what's going on? Because you said you used to work in a warehouse, but now you're in a position where you can travel freely, you're in control of your time, you've essentially got power and autonomy over your life. So I wanted to just dig deeper into that, to simply ask you that question, to ask if you have looked into the specifics of how things have truly changed, because I know we just brushed over it briefly.
Yeah, bro, that's actually crazy. You're about to make me feel a bit emotional because there's not been like one point in time where I've actually like looked back and thought, Jesus, like where I was before. And I'm sure if my 18-year-old self who's just getting started met me now, he would be very proud. Because like as people that want to grow and as entrepreneurs especially, you never look back, you never really like acknowledge what you've done well. You've never really acknowledged where you've came, like where you started from and where you are now, and looked at the disparity between the two. So yeah, no, it is crazy. Like before, so I was living in my parents' attic, like winter time, cold, like in UK winter, you know how it is in January, especially the most depressing month. Like now I'm out here, I've made loads of friends in the space. Like I have a really good network. I'm living with a friend I'm in Colombia right now, in Medellin. I'm living with a friend who I met online called Nathan. He has like a growth partner business. He helps recruiting agencies. Like things like this. Like I go hang out, like I go to like the classic entrepreneur. I go to like the cigar shop and shit. And like
The most
I see
cliche thing ever.
yeah, the most cliche. I see like I'm like meet Nathan's friends, It's like I've
Yep.
got a friend called Pavel. He does 100K a month with the school community. I've got friends like doing 200K a month. Like it's just like I would never be able to do this. I'd never have access to any of this if I just didn't take action. I didn't put one step in front of the other. And I think like I used to look at travel and be like, I used to look at like networking and all these things and see it as like a distraction, but like the leverage is so high. Like now, if I run into a problem, like I know enough people who are
Yep.
doing some crazy numbers, I can literally just message them and say, I'm dealing with this. Like, what do you think is the best way to move forward? It's like having like
Yeah.
30 mentors that are all
That's
in
it.
this crazy position just to hit up all the time. Like, imagine that. Imagine you've got like 30 like part-time one-on-one coaches that you can just
Yeah, yeah,
speak
yeah.
to at
It's
any time. That's
literally.
genuinely what it is. That's
Yeah.
genuinely what it is. And it's insane. Like
Yeah.
I now have a really good life where I love my work. I can sort of do like whatever within reason. Like I have a chef that makes me meals. So I live a pretty good life. Like I go to the gym every day. I have loads of good friends. So yeah, it's
That's
pretty
it.
cool.
And this only took 2 years. And remind me of your age. So you're 20 now, no? Or have I
Yeah,
got this
I
wrong?
turned 20 in January.
Oh dear. So for those of you that are watching this, you're probably, perhaps you were in a similar spot to Max, right? You're in a job you didn't like, you hated very much. I just want you to just take in what can be achieved in just under 2 years if you just put your head down and work and use the right resources at your disposal. So yeah, that's amazing, man. And Max, just to touch on, the company, it'd be good to get a pulse check of, how your company is currently structured in terms of your team. I know you and Isaiah are here. Is there anyone else involved? And number two, now that you're at 40K per month, what's the next goal beyond that? And what's the time frame on it? What are you next looking to achieve?
Honestly, like so for ages, the biggest bottleneck was sales. Like I was closing at like a 15% closing rate for a long time. Now recently we've really increased that due to some training.
Let's go.
That funnily enough, people that like we know have sent us and people that yeah, exactly. Just the network. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy. But so I genuinely think like we've like sort of mapped out the projections with appointments with sharp rate, closing rate, and everything like that. I don't think it's unreasonable for us to hit 100K within the next maybe 4 or 5 months. So I
Well,
think that's going to happen, and that most like a lot of what we have very high profit margins, right? So yeah, in terms of the company structure,
yeah.
we have like a lot of what we have at the moment is VAs, to be honest. Like we have like I think 3 VAs that do like manual tasks for us, mainly for our done for you clients. And then we also have like a lead gen specialist that writes campaigns, that sorts things out for us and does everything on that side. So like honestly, the structure is really not complex. As we hit those like higher months, it's gonna change. We're gonna build our infrastructure with the team and stuff like that. But right now, like honestly, we're not overcomplicating it. It's very simple.
Yeah. Love it, man. Love it. Now, the people that are sort of typically watching this, Max, it's usually two groups of people. The first of which is obviously existing students of the program. The second of
Okay.
which are people that have yet to purchase the program, right? For the first group, which consists of, current students, some of them are probably brand new and they may have recently joined and they're just watching, the interview here to see your story. What would you say to those guys in terms of the best advice you can give to succeed? It's almost as if you were speaking to yourself 2 years ago. Like, what would you say to the students who have just joined? A couple of them are probably struggling. What would you say from your experience with the program and just in business in the past 2 years that would help them succeed here?
Yeah, so there's a few things. I really like what you said about not looking at other people and their
Yep.
like routines and their habits. Like, do what works for you. That was a huge mistake I made. I was trying to be Charlie. I was trying to implement Charlie's routine, do all these habits, drive it to the extreme. But like it made it so hard to be consistent because I was like I wasn't doing what worked for me, and it was too extreme for who I was as a person at that time. Like Max doing like 1K a month was very different to Charlie at the time doing 200K a month. Like me myself, I couldn't do those habits consistently. I just wasn't that person who could do like the 12-hour days with all the habits he was putting in. It's like it didn't make sense for me to try and do that. You have to become that person. So do what works for you and then gradually increase. Don't try and take things to the extreme. Just do whatever you're going to be consistent with. Pick a niche that you have either some like skill set in already or just a degree of interest in. It's going to be so much easier to do the work. It's going to be so much easier to get results because you're doing more work because it's just more enjoyable. I'd say those two things are really important. And then those would be so it'd be doing what works for you, picking a niche you have genuine interest in, like maintaining that sense of community and like network because entrepreneurship can be very, very lonely. So make sure you're messaging people, make sure you're making friends in the space, make sure you're meeting people, doing all these things. And don't view it as a distraction because it genuinely has huge leverage, especially if you meet people that are like just 1 or 2 steps ahead of you that can sort of guide you. Um, so yeah, community, picking a niche that you're interested in, not taking things to the extreme, and then mindset, like keeping like a tab on your mindset, reading books, just making sure you're thinking like someone who's successful actually thinks, and books really help with that. Podcasts, meditation's been huge for me. Meditating for 10 minutes every day. I've done that since I've been like 16 now. So like you can imagine the compounding effect that that's had. But even like after like a month, it's like I noticed like I was thinking differently. I was more present. So I'd say that's a big one. So yeah, mindset, not taking things to the extreme, community, and setting yourself up with a model and niche that you're interested in or have some skill set in from the start. I'd say
Yeah.
those are four things.
Good stuff, man. Love it. And then for the second group who have yet to join the program, they're probably on the fence and they're just thinking about it. From your experience, working with the program, Max, what would you say to those guys? Almost as if you're speaking to yourself before you joined the program, actually now. So yeah, what would
Yeah,
you say to those guys that are on the fence and they're thinking about it?
I would say like it's not cheap. If you have the money, definitely do it. It's going to be one of the best investments you ever make. Don't put yourself like don't go into debt to buy it, but it's a crazy program. Like it's going to get you the results. And don't just think that you're going to come in, be able to implement this stuff and like not have any struggle mindset wise, because that is going to be the biggest thing. It's going to be becoming the person that can achieve the goal, achieve that revenue goal. So as long as you're willing to work, you're willing to put in the work, which is literally just copy and pasting systems, adjusting them to your niche that work, and then like keeping your mindset in check, you're gonna get results. Like I genuinely didn't even. I had so many not limiting beliefs, but just like poor character traits and poor thoughts. And I still got results. I still hit 10K a month. I wasn't like working 12 hours a day doing all these habits. So like if you work like as much as I did, which wasn't even that much, you can still hit your goal. But I'd say, yeah, do it for sure. But it's not cheap, but it's gonna get you great results.
That's it. And I love the point you made about you can join, but you're gonna struggle because that's just how it is. It's
Yeah,
so
it's gonna be painful.
it's part of the game. And it's funny because the other interviews I've done, Max, with some of the other clients we've got, I always say this towards the end here. I always say if you're someone that's watching this and you want a magic pill, a magic solution where everything's gonna work out for you and there's gonna be no challenges, no struggle whatsoever, then this is not the program for you because
Yeah.
we can give you the roadmap, we can give you the coaching, we can give you everything you need to succeed. But naturally, there's going to be problems that you're going to encounter and struggles that you're going to face, both from a business and a identity standpoint. And it's literally impossible to grow without it. So if you guys do want that magic solution where it's not going to require struggle and require no work, I wouldn't recommend, booking a call. But as Max said, if you're willing to actually work and you want a proven roadmap to actually follow, then for sure this would be um, a good fit for you probably. So if you just book a call and just see your business and see if it makes sense, then you can actually see if we could work with one another. But yeah, Max, love that, man. And on a final note, where can people find you? Because I know you're becoming YouTube famous now as the as the business is picking up some steam. So yeah, feel free to let people know where they can find you, your socials, your YouTube, website, all that good stuff.
Yeah. So if you just search Max Ross on YouTube, Max Ross SMMA, you should find me. Pretty small channel at the moment. I think I have like 1.5K subs.
Picking up steam.
But yeah, trying to grow that. But yeah, like just search my name, LinkedIn, YouTube, you should find me. It should be easy.
Boss. There we go. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the interview, guys. Just again to summarize, literally Max, 18 years old, came into the program whilst working in the warehouse, and literally in the space of like coming close to 2 years, went from zero to the 40K per month mark. That's he's set to hit pretty much this month, right, Max, or next?
Yeah, this month I think we should hit anywhere from like 35 to 40.
Quality. So you can see the amount of growth in such a short space of time and what happens when you've got a proven roadmap in place and more importantly, you're willing to work and you're willing to, fail forward as Max has done. So yeah, if you want to check out
Mhm.
some more interviews beyond Max, be sure to check out the other ones we've got on the site and on the channel. And as Max said, if you want to check him out, check out his YouTube channel. It'll be linked in the description below. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the interview. I'll catch you guys in another one. Cheers.